Well, I think we should go ahead and tell folks to call in.
Oh yeah.
Go ahead and start this thing.
I thought we'd already done that.
Welcome back. No, we hadn't. Welcome back to the Angry Chicken Patron Hangout. This is where patrons who are supporting us over on patreon.com/TAC can call in, ask us questions, start a dialogue with us, or just ask what we smell like. Don't do that, though, because that's weird. That's real weird.
I can tell you, though.
That is
I
true.
actually smell pretty good. Wow.
I smell amazing.
surprised.
I have Victoria's Secret perfume.
Whoa.
Ooh, so do I. How embarrassing. Wearing the same scent. Looks like we're getting our first caller. And I believe it is our first caller from last time. Welcome back. Callum, all the way from Scotland.
Yay!
It's so late, you have to let me call in first.
I know. It is ridiculous. I already talked to you today, man. I'm done talking to you.
You did. I was saying, Garrett was saying he was tired earlier. It's probably my fault. It's the longest 20-minute interview I've ever done in my life.
It was. I think it was closer to 40, but yeah.
Wow.
It was about an hour by the time we actually got off the phone.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Garrett talks a lot. You just have to kind of cut him off.
Yeah, it's bad.
Sometimes, you just gotta talk instead of him. He'll start talking and you just go, hold on. He's just gonna keep going.
Cheap plug, of course. Garrett was appearing on Hearth Center, the brand new Gosu Gamers competitive esports podcast.
Nice.
Thank you, Jocelyn, for the love on Twitter earlier.
Yeah, we
Absolutely.
had a good chat about all of the esports going on, specifically how confusing the one in China is.
Yeah. The fact that it starts in now a day and nobody knows what's happening.
Nope. Groups are still not finished.
You talking about the Road to BlizzCon stuff?
No. This is
the WCA tournament.
Yeah. That's right.
That's the one that has
the OGN that just finished today.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. That one was kind of interesting too. They had 9 decks they could choose from. It was still like a best of 3 or whatever, but you had 9 decks.
Yeah, it was
Yeah, they did that in WEC as well.
Yeah, it's an interesting take on it because you can really bring just direct counters. The problem is then you end up doing that where rather than seeing maybe a couple of decks that they're really good at playing, they just try to beat the one deck they're just lost to. And then the next guy does the exact same thing. So it's kind of like who wins the first match.
See, that's what I said when we talked about it earlier, Garrett.
There you go. See? He knows what I'm talking about. This guy knows.
Exactly. But I have to say, I haven't called in for Hearthstone chat, though I have a Hearthstone question.
Okay.
I think, again, it becomes tradition I call in first. I think it becomes tradition I have a non-Hearthstone discussion first, and then a Hearthstone discussion. Shadow of Mordor.
You.
Oh, I thought that this morning.
The minute Garrett and I got off the phone, I started downloading it. So I've put about an hour and a half into it so far.
And?
It's confusing as all hell,
Is it?
but it's amazing. And
okay.
I think
But it's amazing. Okay, good.
Oh yeah, the thing that's kind of thrown me is because I've played all the Arkham games, which are sort of they're very similar.
Okay.
They're open world. It's the same sort of combat style. It's a very good version of that combat style, which a lot of games have done badly recently.
Sure.
But the thing that gets me, and I don't know how much you've put into it so far, Jocelyn.
Oh, none yet. I haven't actually downloaded it. I
She's been moving
got up
today.
this morning and everyone was like, "Oh my god, this game's so awesome! I can't wait to get home and play." And I was like, "Okay," so I just bought it from my phone because the Steam app is awesome.
There are orcs freaking everywhere.
What
about elves?
But no, just orcs all the
just
time.
orcs.
Orcs for days.
All orcs all the time.
You accidentally run
Urix,
into-
sir. Urix.
You accidentally run into a veteran captain and go, "Oh my god, no, I'm gonna die!" And then you run in the opposite direction, and then suddenly there'll be another guy, and it ends really badly. You just spend half your time running, I think, for the early parts, because you're like, "I don't want to die because there's so many guys here." It's got some really interesting mechanics. The Nemesis system is so cool. Total Biscuit did a really good video on it earlier today, but basically there's like a whole orc hierarchy, and you interrogate orcs to get intel on different levels of captains, and then you can take control of some of them and set them against each other and start power struggles. It's really cool.
Or from the videos I've seen, you can just go in there and just start hacking people up, and that looks really, really fun.
Option B, yeah.
With there being orcs for days, there's also battles for days. It's really cool. It's got some. I think it's a good open world sort of role playing esque game, kind of like the Batman Arkham games, but with some really cool, unique, and innovative mechanics.
Yeah.
With a really good theme and really good soundtrack.
Chat room saying Assassin's Creed Middle Earth.
Yeah,
a little bit.
All the reviews I've read, it said the traversal works like Assassin's Creed, the combat works like Arkham, and the Nemesis system is really unlike anything they've ever seen before, and it works really well.
Just don't try running the Ultra texture pack unless you've apparently got 6 gigabytes of video RAM.
That is absurd. That's why I haven't picked it up yet because I'm a little tight for funds at the moment. So, but I'm thinking I might just pick it up for the PS4 because it also looks like a good couch game. Like I just want to put my feet up and just have a beer and kill orcs.
It's pretty awesome. I've got the wonders of unemployment / working from home, depending on how positive I feel about calling it stay.
It's self-employed, sir. It's
self-employed.
Whenever I don't have a day job, I am just a self-employed graphic designer. Whether or not I have a job that I'm working on at the moment, I can just say I'm self-employed.
So I'm a self-employed writer and podcaster. That's cool.
There you go.
That's official.
That's how it works. So what Hearthstone stuff did you want to talk about, Callum?
So you remember when I subreddit myself, Garrett?
Yes.
It's a new phrase that I've invented.
The episode's not out yet, so it's kind of funny that we're referencing it. But when you listen to my talk with Callum on the Ghost of Gamers Hearthstone podcast, we got into this big discussion of what we would like to see happen to Hearthstone esports and as far as format and whatnot are concerned, and we both kind of went back and forth, and then Callum basically just went on for this about 40-second trolley comment. What if we just did this terrible freaking idea? And
so what I suggested was to force innovation in deck building for tournaments. We create a list of all the decks that we're sick of seeing in tournaments, and then you're allowed to bring 5 decks to a tournament. You're only allowed to pick 4 from the hate list. Therefore, you are forced to bring something interesting, and then we assemble a panel of independent, interesting experts.
So the interesting judges, they judge if it's interesting or not.
I'm brandishing my pen because I think this is a serious idea. We then judge how interesting they are, and if the judges say, "I'm sorry, it's not interesting enough," they are disqualified from the tournament.
Oh my god.
That's actually more
harsh.
That's gotten more extreme. It's 10 o'clock in the morning.
Have you guys watched that magic show, Walking the Plains, or whatever? Or they do this kind of thing at the Community Cup thing, where it's like the community versus Wizards of the Coast, and then they give them 5 cards, and then they play game, and then they have to build theme decks around them. And then they play games, and then they judge the decks, and so you get points by how well your deck does. But that's not nearly as important as the points you get for how interesting your deck is and how much it plays into the lore or whatever. So I think it kind of got a little bit of that going on.
Admirable's tabletop YouTube series was one of the most interesting Hearthstone series I think I've seen in a long time. Just because he makes people make troll decks and gimmick decks.
Yeah, they weren't even trying to win.
Just make an all male deck and things like that. All cards beginning with the letter M. Stuff like that. It's just crazy.
It's definitely fun. I think when you come down to who's the best, I don't think the players will want to do that, but I think that there should be more room for tournaments that are just kind of based around craziness ensuing.
So my question was, before we get too far off topic.
Sure.
Because one of the things that we did talk about that I'm pretty sure Blizzard don't want people to do, or at least didn't want to do when there were balance changes incoming, was card bans. Because I know a couple of tournaments, including Deck Wars, wanted to ban Leroy and Buzzard, and then Blizzard said, please don't do that. That's not how we want the game to be played. So that's kind of out. So what crazy rule do you want to see brought into tournaments to force them to be a little bit more innovative and a little bit more interesting / crazy?
Wow. Well, I mean, I'm okay with the limited stuff. I like that kind of stuff.
I don't like it at the moment because it's not true limited.
No.
Okay,
absolutely.
so what is limited? Because I know that's a Magic term. And you guys always say it like
Arena currently is the only limited that exists in Hearthstone.
Arena would be considered a version of limited.
It is impossible to do actual competitive Arena because you can only put 2 of a card in your deck. So even these Arena tournaments are not real Arena tournaments because it's impossible to do a real Arena tournament.
Because Masan picks 4 Frostbolts, then rage quits and tilt traps.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So okay, here's what you could do though. You could also do something like everybody buys 40 packs, and then you note all the cards you get in your 40 packs, and you build a deck based on that. That's another limited version, similar to Sealed. You do stuff like that.
Yeah, except you need a lot less packs in Sealed Magic because there's a lot more cards in a pack.
Yeah, because there's 15 cards in a pack. Yeah. But so similar to it's basically similar to Sealed. But I wouldn't mind seeing something like every deck must have 2 legendaries, 4 epics, 10 rares, and the rest
and an angry chicken,
something like that. And then
always an angry chicken.
But that kind of stuff could be really interesting, where you kind of set out parameters, and then everyone has to build a deck they think would be good within those parameters. There's also drafting you could do, where have you guys seen the Hearth Stats draft thing? You guys check that out yet?
Yes.
Yeah.
So stuff like that is cool. I mean, a community-made draft in a way. You don't even need to buy the packs or whatever. You can just, if someone can write up a program like that, then you have a draft program already. So that kind of stuff is really cool, and I would like to see more stuff like that too.
Jeff and I went through the draft feature on Hearth Stats.
So you did? Nice.
Yeah, he showed it to me a couple of days ago, and he was like, "So here are the rules," and then I said, "No, I wonder what happens if I break the rules." So I broke the rules, and then he was like, "Yeah, we didn't hard code the rules in because we wanted to see if people would make their own rules.
Yeah,
we didn't think people would just ignore what we said." I was like, "Oh, sorry, I was just being a troll. Sorry."
But I mean, that's the way it should be, because then, we could make up our own rules. Because the official one was like, I open one, then I keep it or not, and I can open another one, right? And then
and you have to keep the second one. And
you have to keep the second.
I don't like the second one. I'm going to go back to the first one. Apparently, that wasn't allowed.
No. But I mean, you could do something like open 4, and then I select one of those, and you select one of those, and I select one of those, and you select one. Then we open 4 more, but then you start this time, and there shouldn't be rules because then you can make up your own whatever. So. It's a cool thing, though. We should definitely play some games that way one of these days. Because I haven't tried it yet.
Yeah, neither have I. Could be fun,
It's
though.
On then, Garrett. What's up? Bring it.
The thing is, I don't have every card in the game, so it is, again, another kind of somewhat flawed system unless you have all the cards in the game.
Yeah,
that's true.
That was
if you pick a card you don't have.
Yeah, I drafted like Millhouse, and then was like, oh. Millhouse came up, and I thought, well, all of these cards are minions. This is perfect. He's not going to draft any spells. And then realized, that's not a card I own. Oops.
Yeah, that's kind of the problem. But Jocelyn, what about you? Anything you'd like to see?
Oh, dude, I don't even know.
I really want to see something where it's just a single deck tournament. Like you go in, you have to bring one deck with you.
Just one deck?
One deck.
I was thinking like all the decks.
Nah,
like
I'm sick of seeing
as possible.
See, I really liked what they did at for the team match at ESGN Fight Night, where it was a class draft. So you end up.
They picked classes, yeah.
I think you ban one each, and then you pick 3 each. So all but one class is involved. You probably ban the 2 most popular, and then you end up seeing, like at that point, stuff like Paladin and Priest, and to some extent Mage were just completely dead at that point.
Yeah.
And you saw people having to play them.
Yeah.
I wouldn't mind seeing something like that. I don't know.
I would definitely like Blizzard to allow in the game to be able to kind of do whatever you want, though. I really hope that at some point we get kind of a free-for-all tournament mode where you can make up the rules you want, and the game can actually allow those to happen. Set boundaries and rules, and then people can build within that. But I'm not holding my breath on that one, but it would make things like this easier.
I don't think it's coming anytime soon, if at all.
No, probably.
Yeah, it depends how many features they decide to put in the observer mode. If there's like a tournament host mode, if you can build your own brackets and things like that. Obviously, replays aren't coming as part of that.
That's
though.
What they said, yeah.
If you listen to last week's Hearth Center podcast, Jeff from Hearth Stats gave us an exclusive that Hearth Stats are going to be building replays into their functionality.
Whoa.
Both text and video replays.
Wow, that's crazy.
Into Hearth Stats. That's what I said. That is what I said. That sounds insane.
That does
and
sound insane.
And they're running a league now. So I assume Hearthstats are taking on like 100 new staff or something.
Something. I mean, they seemed like it was only a couple guys, but all of a sudden they're going for
They're
it.
doing
That's
crazy
cool
stuff. Yeah, I don't know how they're. It's got to just be video capture, which in that case it would just be a video. It's not really a replay.
Yeah,
like a StarCraft replay is actually
straight out of the game. That would seem like that would go against the terms.
Yeah, there's no way. That's I'm curious how the tech's gonna work. But
you could also do stuff like nobody can have a card over 4 mana or something like that. Nobody can have a card under 3 mana, and then you just get massive late game decks and stuff like that. There's a lot of things that could be done for sure.
Yeah. Chat room also mentioned building your opponent's deck, which so much fun.
Yeah.
Those things are fun. I just don't think they'll ever catch on as a regular competitive format.
That's what I was going to say.
Random decks.
Gimmicks are gimmicks are great, and tournaments like Lord of the Arena are great fun, but I'm not sure how we go about encouraging like the major tournaments to sort of look towards innovation and reward innovation in deck building. I guess we saw innovation being rewarded in the EU qualifiers with Fishu bringing his crazy aggro mage deck. We saw innovation being punished with Reynad's crazy aggro rogue deck, because anyone who plays Dancing Swords in competitive Hearthstone does not deserve to win because it's not good. But that was certainly a fun tournament, and there's so many tournaments coming up. We've got
I think they could do something. A big tournament might do something similar to what they do with like the Grand Prix, where the tournament is multiple formats, and then you gain points. So you have one where it's just I bring one deck, everyone brings one deck, and we play Swiss, and we see what the records are, and then people gain points, and they're on the standings, and then the next day, then we do an arena tournament, and then the next day we do some sort of other thing. Like that kind of thing for a big tournament could work. I think the players might be on board as long as the formats were not gimmicky. They'd have to be something that still involves skill. So building a deck with limitations would be something that would still involve skill.
Be down for that.
Yeah,
definitely.
But
the Vi Game House Cup are doing a 3-ban format, so that'll be interesting.
A 3-ban format? Oh my god! So class bans?
Ban one. We bring 8 decks, and your opponent bans one. You ban one each. You pick 2. You ban 2. You pick 2.
Oh my god! Okay.
That's intense.
See, then like the skill involved is about understanding matchups and stuff. And there's still skill in the deck building and the the problem that I have with these things is I'm not sure if I really like the idea of just countering each other. And Garrett, you said the one deck thing, which I kind of like too, because then I have to make a smart decision.
I don't like going into a tournament knowing Amaz is there, being a fan of Amaz because I like watching him play Priest, and then having his fucking Priest banned every damn game.
Sure.
Like that's not fun to watch as a fan.
No, absolutely. And I totally get that. I think. And then the other thing too is, Amaz is the Priest master, and then Forsen's got his Miracoli, and then we see these guys all play the deck that they feel that they're the best at. And although the problem there too then is that then everybody plays whatever they think is the most OP deck, which was Hunter. I don't know exactly what people think it is now, but that's the issue there. So
what is it now? That's a good question.
I don't really know, honestly.
Hunter's
actually still pretty good.
Cool.
Yeah.
The problem is because if you don't know, it's probably Zoo.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Oh, someone make a friggin' T-shirt of that.
Another answer. The answer is Zoo.
Oh.
I still feel though like I'm seeing a lot of the priest, like that kind of death rattly priest, and I think Zedalot's actually ranked number 1 EU with that deck. That's exactly the deck he was playing.
I was saying to Garrett earlier, I'd be interested to see the proportion of legend players who are getting there playing priest, because it seems like it's a lot.
It's everywhere.
Watching my friends who stream legend, speaking to some of them. I don't play legend because I'm not good enough. But people who are better than me tell me
it's all priest all the time.
Yeah, pretty much.
I mean, we're getting closer. We're getting closer and closer, I think, to the game being like extremely balanced. It's not ever going to 100% happen, but we've gotten closer and closer with every move Blizzard's made. That's pretty positive right now. That they seem to make a move and it actually has the correct effect. So
that's another thing we were saying, that Blizzard kind of, I think with NAC, showed that even those of us who are really plugged into what's going on in Hearthstone and really plugged into the meta and what decks are being played, like you guys were giving Ben Brode such a hard time about Avenge and Duplicate. And then it turns out that with Mad Scientist, if you put down an Undertaker and a Mad Scientist, and then you get a free Duplicate off your Mad Scientist. That's a crazy tempo play.
No, it's pretty good. Yeah.
And in our defense, Ben Brode brought up Duplicate. I wasn't gonna bring it up, and he said, "Garrett, no, I want to defend this." And
he listened to the show and he heard us smack talking his cards. Yeah. But it's true. I mean, that mage deck too, like the counterspell for 3 mana oftentimes isn't very good because sometimes you counter the coin and it sucks. But when you get to play for free, it's pretty sweet. And a 2/2, as opposed to being a 3/2, isn't that much of a penalty to pay for a free secret. And then on top of it, he buffs your Undertaker. So essentially, you played a 3/3 for 2, and then he gave you a free secret. So if you're playing a mage, it's like you spent 5 mana to play a cleric. That also gave you. It's just crazy.
I believe the
you spent 2 mana to play a cleric. That also gave you a secret.
I believe the technical word you're looking for is Banana Town.
Yeah. It's a really good card, man. It's only good in certain decks. But
anyways, Callum, dude, thanks so much for calling in.
That was a really good discussion, man. Great questions.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, everyone should definitely go check that out. What's the name of the show again?
Hearth Center, which is a ripoff of Sports Center, because it's an esports podcast, and I like to think we're trying to move more towards covering Hearthstone like a sport and analyzing plays and putting things in context and that sort of thing. Where
do I find it? Is it just hearthcenter.com or hearthcenter?
GoSuitGamers.net is the official GoSuitGamers Hearthstone esports podcast. I mean, I come to writing about esports from a sports journalist background, so I like to think I'm sort of bringing a little bit of a fresh perspective on it, but putting things in context and analyzing them. Speaking of players, we had RDU and ACOP on last week. This week we've got Kalento and Green Sheep.
Oh wow, nice.
So it's pretty great working for such a big website that pretty much anyone will come on the podcast that you want. Like, nice. If I say, "Hey Garrett, come to the podcast," he'd be like, "Sure."
Well, I did that because I know you. I was like, let's do this.
I did say on Twitter, and I'll leave you with this, that Garrett goes on the list of people that I'm not ever allowed to call if I have shit to do, because that was a 20-minute interview that took an hour of call time. Luckily I didn't have anything else to do.
Well, thanks again, Callum.
Thanks, guys.
Talk to you again. Enjoy whatever crazy hour it is there. I'm
gonna go to bed. It's 2:30 in the morning.
All right, see you.
All right, man.
All right. And we've got our next caller, Mr. Dan Tennant. Welcome.
Ooh. Hot diggity. It's good to see. Oh, hang on. I said hot diggity. It's good to see you guys, and then I saw that I couldn't actually see you guys. I had to enable video. So
look at that. Here's a voice I haven't heard since Nerdtacular.
It's good to speak to you guys. I have no idea how well my audio is coming through, since I'm just on this terrible MacBook Air here.
Hey, loud and clear, man.
Not terrible.
Awesome. In that case, I'm just going to get right to my 2-part question. Part 1, not Hearthstone related. What kind of mobile phones do you guys have?
iPhone.
iPhone.
I believe all 3 of us are iPhone.
All 3 of your iPhones. Okay, this is excellent.
But I'm the 5S. I haven't moved on to the 6.
I'm a 5. I'm even more poor.
I'm a 5 too, Garrett. Don't worry.
Okay.
All right.
Me and Jocelyn are 5 buddies. Is it white or black, Jocelyn?
Black.
Oh, I'm white. Katie's got the black.
We know
one,
you
though.
are, Garrett. Yeah. I have the gold
surprise
one.
anyone.
I have the gold one.
I want the gold one.
Yeah,
it's
you know
so
you do.
pretty.
Of course, just like in Hearthstone, I can have a regular one, but I can also have a gold one. So I might as well have the gold one, right?
Oh, so fancy.
You.
Oh,
not a gold fan.
iPhone 5S.
Not a gold fan. Why do you ask, Dan? I must.
Yeah, I'm curious.
So I'm a smartphone reviewer by trade. I'm actually iPhone 6 and 6 Plus that I'm reviewing right now. So I'm actually glad that you guys are iPhone users, because I've been trying to decide personally between the two in terms of what to get next, specifically for Hearthstone. Now, obviously, Hearthstone
the bigger
is
one,
not yet on
the bigger one.
right.
Done.
But here's the thing, like, I was wondering for you guys, would you guys go with a bigger phone just to, because you all three of you have iPads, right?
Yes. I have one that I share with my fiance, but yeah.
So I'm wondering, would you guys willingly give up the iPad, buy a bigger phone, and just use that, assuming that eventually Blizzard puts out an app for, iOS mobile?
I wouldn't.
No.
No, I wouldn't either, because I personally, I don't even think I want the iPhone 6. I feel like it's too big. I want my phone to I wear skinny jeans. Because I'm a hipster and I live in San Francisco.
I wear skinny jeans too because I refuse to
put it in my pocket.
I refuse to blend in with the rest of the Florida crowd. No, I want the 6. I have no interest in the 6 Plus. I think it's way too. I cannot stand big phones. A bunch of my family members have I call them tablets, but apparently they're Android phones.
Yeah. I do really like the iPad Mini though, because I just don't want it to be my phone. That's really the thing. I like that size, and I like the size.
I tried Hearthstone on the Mini, and it's too small.
Really? You think so?
Yeah.
I guess for me,
that's why I got the bigger one.
I like laying in bed and just holding it in one hand, and then whatever. And with the iPad, I kind of have to
it's a little
prop
bit
it up on something, and so that's what I enjoyed about the Mini. But again, the Mini also is kind of its guts are not very good. It freezes up and stuff like that. So
yeah, it's a little on the slow side. I really enjoy Hearthstone on my just regular iPad.
Yeah,
they did such a good job. I
did.
mean, we knew when we were in beta looking at the UI that this was built from the ground up for a tablet experience. But it doesn't make me appreciate it any less because they just did a bang up job on it.
If they somehow were to, obviously they're working on something for Android that would work on both tablets and smartphones, and they said that they were working on mobile. What was it, last BlizzCon or BlizzCon before?
Well, the BlizzCon before, Hearthstone wasn't even...
Point.
Well, actually, the BlizzCon before, there wasn't one. They skipped a year.
Oh, that's fine. So last BlizzCon. If, Blizzard puts out awesome products all the time, if they did something that wasn't just a miniaturized version, would that be attractive to you guys, or do you just say no, stuff it? I'm wherever I go. I just got my iPad in the bag or whatever.
So you're saying they would release a version that's not the same as the version we're currently playing?
Right.
It'd be a standalone game?
No. Just with a completely new interface designed to work on that form factor. Then give up the iPad? Does that mobility make sense? It's a selfish question, so I'm wondering whether or not I should just go out and buy an iPad.
I mean, I feel like no matter what they do with the phone version, the UI is going to have to be kind of funky. Although I have all faith in Blizzard, even though it's rampant fanboyism apparently to some trolls, that they'll get it right. And it won't feel clunky.
Well, you are on the instance with Scott, and any show that has Scott on it is clearly just an Apple.
It's a love fest. That's all we do. Yeah, we just love Blizzard. We just Blizzard, come here. Just let me smell you.
I just watch Scott's Twitter feed, and all I see are people just you're such an Apple fanboy, and I'm like, I listen to his shows. He says he's an Apple fanboy. What are you expecting?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, we don't pull the punches, but we also don't pretend we're something we're not.
Yeah.
But no, I mean, I don't think I would ever want to replace the iPad experience because it is so fluid and nice. But I will play the crap out of it on my phone no matter how they do it because I just am addicted to Hearthstone.
What about you,
But
Joss?
no, I wouldn't give up the iPad one.
What about you, Jocelyn?
Oh no, I love the iPad version. I don't want to even try it on my phone.
I feel
the 5. It's big, but it's not big enough for Hearthstone.
No.
And I don't even know. I haven't actually seen a 6 or 6
But you will
Plus,
play it though. Come on,
Well,
when it's on your phone and you have the choice. I could sit here and I could play Clash of Clans, or I could play Hearthstone.
I don't really play anything on my phone though. I use my phone for Twitter. That's pretty much it.
I'm kind of right there with you. I hate
I just
mobile
use it
gaming.
as a hotspot thing and then play on my iPad.
Okay.
I feel like if they had launched simultaneously, Dan, it would have kept me from getting an iPad
Sure.
a little
that's
longer.
True. Yeah.
But since
So,
I already have
Did
one,
all three of you buy an iPad? Oh no, you
I
said you
did.
said
No,
you
I
already
had one already. Yeah. I used to work at Apple, and so when I worked there, you can't escape it. You must have the things because you play with them all day, every day. So that's when I first bought an iPad, and then I pretty much got the new one. Like I skipped the generation, but I pretty much gotten a new one whenever it makes sense to me, which is almost every time.
yeah.
Jocelyn, worth the investment?
Yes, I think
All right.
so. I really, really enjoy having it with me on the commute. And it's really fun to just like lay in bed and play Hearthstone or lay on the couch and play Hearthstone. And I wouldn't want to do that with a laptop. So I think absolutely. And I mean, I use it for so many other things too. I read a lot on it. It's my e-reader, which is really what I wanted in the first place. And then I was like, but wait a minute, I could get an e-reader or I could get an iPad with Hearthstone sold.
With Hearthstone, you could get your VLC player on there and just pirate the hell out of movies, and then every airplane trip. Sorry, never mind. I didn't say that.
What was that?
What happened?
When I fly with Wi-Fi and
through
Hearthstone.
iTunes for ridiculous amounts of money. That's what I do.
What was that, Dan?
I was going to say that's what Plex is for. Just keep all your pirated movies on your home computer, and then just Plex it to the iPad.
Yeah, that's true. We actually at the house we have we have just like a server chilling in the living room, and
That's the way to do it.
we'll have Chromecasts and iPads, and then we just I can go and I just be like, hey, what did my roommate download today? Oh, cool.
Downloaded
Again.
legally, correctly? Yeah.
Totally.
Legally purchased
Of
from
course, Garrett.
Amazon.
How dare you assume that we would ever do anything?
There's just something about Dills' face, man. It just looks.
It looks like you can trust it. I know what you're about to say. But no, I mean, I think if I didn't have an iPad and I had no other reason for it, Hearthstone would not be the only reason to get. That wouldn't convince me to do it. So I don't know if that's kind of where you're going, but yeah. But I also think iPad is.
Hearthstone kind of pushed me over the edge. I already wanted an iPad. I wanted to, and then when I found out Hearthstone was coming out for it, I was like, okay, that's enough of an excuse. Let's get this.
And then you write it off because we do the podcast, right?
Yeah.
Business expense.
I have to make sure that I'm making enough profit that I'm not writing off more than I make. But yeah.
Yeah, good point.
Fun stuff.
Said you had a two-parter. Was that both parts? Did we get both parts?
That was, but the first part was just what phone do you guys use?
Okay, that's right.
Gotcha. Yeah.
But I'm much obliged for the phone call, guys, and it's good to talk to y'all.
Man, thank
good
you.
To see you again.
Man.
Good to see you again, Dan. Well, I'll call you after this, and we can just talk Doctor Who like we did at Nerdtacular. Because these two nerds, they don't understand.
Okay.
They don't understand the wonder of the Whoverse.
No,
Are the
not
mannequins
sure.
back, or are they still? They're fine. They killed the mannequins. Yeah.
You've literally seen the first episode, which is the worst episode.
That's as far as I got. I was like, mannequins, I'm out. Okay.
I remember when my friends, they tried 3 times to get me into Doctor Who, and each time I started off with that freaking mannequin episode.
Don't watch. I tell everyone, just skip the first episode. Don't bother. It's terrible.
Oh, God.
Like you've had eyes and ears, and you're in a slightly nerdy environment. You know what you need to know to understand an episode of Doctor Who. You don't need to see the first episode that sets it up. It's a terrible episode.
It's too bad because that really. I'm sure there's a lot of people who would like that show if it's a good show after that, because that episode.
I don't know. I made it like 3 episodes in.
Oh yeah, this didn't work out for you, huh?
Try a different doctor, maybe. I don't know.
Different doctor. There you go.
Those are other good hopping on points. If you don't want to do it from the beginning, pick the first episode of a new Doctor and jump in.
It's kind of like, Star Trek, the original series is actually not that great anymore. I don't know. Maybe I liked it when I was a kid.
Was it ever that great?
No, not really. I mean,
I'm right there with Dan. I
sci-fi.
cannot watch Star Trek, any of them. I have tried.
Oh,
I have a
really?
lot of respect for the series, but
TNG is
can't.
amazing.
No,
though.
it's
Not
not.
even Picard? Come on now.
Oh man, it's like watching a bunch of people in their pajamas try and do space freaking soap
With
operas.
all
Trying to
this
do
movie.
space.
No, space soap operas.
Trying to do
It's people in
space.
pajamas doing space soap operas. I can't
But
do
I
it.
mean, come on, man. Like, you can't use the pajama thing. I mean, look at what Luke Skywalker wears and shit. Like, you can't. I mean, come on.
They are in robes.
They're robes, but at least
Yeah,
they're
but-
well-textured robes.
Okay, so what, they all came out of the
Stuff on-
shower just now? Like, it's fine. Just get over the fact that in space, people like to wear
Well, I can't get over the
You have
acting.
to always be
It's
ready to
just
fight
like,
evil Dills.
It's like a stage play, man. I can't do it. I've tried.
Who wants 70s hair in the new Star Wars?
I do.
Oh,
70s hair.
yeah,
Absolutely.
Sure.
That is the hair of the future.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Or
Go
the
back
past.
in time.
Or the past,
It's actually it's not the future though.
It's a long time ago in a galaxy far, far away. Doesn't matter.
It's
Whatever.
way past.
Dan, dude, as always, great talking to you, man.
Been a pleasure, guys. Have a great night.
See you later.
Always with the mannequins on Doctor Who, man. The thing is, I can't defend that episode. It's terrible.
No, it's
Bad. It's very bad.
And I gave that episode its full chance, and then I was like, now I don't know if I can move on to the other stuff, even if it's good.
Oh, we're getting some serious air,
Hey,
but welcome, new caller.
Oh, that's some feedback now.
Hey, all right, now I think I can hear you.
Yeah.
All right. I just used the
there he is.
microphone just now.
Oh, okay, yeah, you're a bit quiet, but
Well, I can try to talk louder, but you won't be able to see me.
that's good. That's good.
Good. Nice, Garrett.
Let me do it like this here. I got the mic in my hand.
There you go.
Nice, awesome. Sakani, is that how you pronounce it?
Yeah, you got it perfectly right. Jocelyn knows because she met me before at. I knew her before she was famous. Put it like that.
Damn, that is a
Making it
claim.
sound all
Not
dirty.
famous at one point. What?
Yeah, no, I actually I met both Jocelyn and Dills at Nerd Attacker 2012. I met them both in person.
Nice.
Jocelyn was just I just said, hey, how you doing? Okay, bye. Dills, when I met Dills, it was a more interesting story.
Oh yeah.
Can we hear the story?
I saw Dills for the first time. He was standing outside of a Five Guys restaurant.
Oh, I remember this.
Guess he was getting ready to take a smoke break or something like that. And I saw him. I didn't recognize him at first, but I saw him. I yelled at him, "Excuse me, get out of the way!" Because he was standing in between me and food. So,
Five Guys. Yeah, it's delicious food too.
Five Guys will have that effect on someone. By the way,
Yeah.
if I smell those Cajun fries, it's over. If there's something in between me and that door, it's getting knocked down.
for sure. And
But okay, where does it get interesting though? Something else had to have happened.
I could. Now you can see me better now because my fiance just turned on the lights and I love her very much. So she is the best.
She totally ruined your mystery, though.
Oh, whatever. But anyway, yeah. If you guys do remember, yes, it's because during that year in Nerd Attacker, there were two black guys there, and the other one was Mr. JJ Valentine, who everyone knows. Yeah.
The buoy. Yeah,
Yeah, that guy. So there was him, and there was his wife, and there was me, and that was it.
Yeah. Well, I think it's gotten better. It's Utah. That's really the problem, I think.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh no, and Manny was there. Manny is on my raid team, but he's since moved to St. Louis.
I was about to say, Manny wasn't here he wasn't there this most recent
But
year,
he lived there, so he wasn't really around very much. He just showed up and then he took off.
Gotcha.
Basically.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, it was a pretty single color attendance as far as all of the
2012 though, that was the year when it was just in that one place. It wasn't at the hotel.
That conference center. Yeah.
Yeah.
The year before we did Snowbird.
And the last year it was one day. So it was a big.
So
one
have
day.
You haven't been back since, have you?
Unfortunately, no. I haven't been able to make it up there because my job. You can't see my uniform right here.
Oh.
My job keeps me really busy, so I can't always spare the time. I just got off work just now. I have sweat dripping into my eyes. That's why I'm blinking so much.
That's dedication.
Thanks for the dedication, man.
No problem. Much love. Anyway, I do have one question now that we've got all the pleasantries out of the way.
Okay.
And this question is for Garrett.
Uh-oh.
Who, as we know, about to bring it down on you, son. But
Garrett.
Anyway, I hear Garrett talk. I know he's a big fan of Magic the Gathering.
That is a true statement.
Yes. Now, I have played some Magic before, and I have, other than maybe just like a few, let's just say, exhibition matches where I borrow somebody's deck and play the game, I have not been able to get into it much, mostly because it is a fairly complex game. as opposed to something like Hearthstone, which is pretty simple. You know,
Yes.
there's a lot of mechanics and let's just say mechanics that you don't have to worry about in Hearthstone as opposed to Magic. And one of the things I hear on the show, it seems that Garrett sort of laments that Hearthstone does not have this level of complexity. Every time I hear him talk about what he wants to see more in Hearthstone, it seems he wants to make it more like Magic. Things like more enemy types, sideboards, the ability to say counter a move during your opponent's turn, things like that. These are all. Yeah,
I've given up on that
things
particular
you can
one,
do in
by the
Magic.
way. I've just accepted that I'll never have that ability outside of secrets. But so what are you wondering what the best way to kind of break in is?
No, I'm just asking you. I mean, how much more like Magic do you really want Hearthstone to be?
Well, I mean, I don't know how much I want the core game of Hearthstone to be like Magic so much as I would like to see a little more of the way or the different types of tournaments we have in the competitive scene of Magic to kind of leak into the competitive scene of Hearthstone. Obviously, some of that would have to come in changes to the core game. If we're going to have a true limited version of Hearthstone that we can play in a tournament setting, we're going to need new tools added to the game itself.
Yeah, you'd have to have like tournament packs or something that actually are like 15 cards and things like that, you know?
Yeah.
Because it's just like Magic. You can on the Magic Online, you can buy like a draft pack. It's like 3 packs, and then you draft.
Yep.
You know? That kind of stuff doesn't exist. So.
But
Yeah, I can see that. But what about the mechanics, though, Garrett? You've talked about mechanics you want.
Yeah, I mean, I'd love to see something like an enchantment where it just sits on the board and has some type of effect. I wouldn't mind seeing flying minions. And then we could, they could only be blocked by other flying minions or add ground minions that have an ability like Reach in Magic, which allows a ground minion to block a flying minion. I mean,
the issue, though, is only 30 cards. It makes it real tough to build a deck. Like, I mean, I understand you could sideboard in or whatever a couple of cards to counter it, but if you only have 30 cards total, it's tough to. Well, I guess in Magic, there's really only like 36 actual cards, right?
Yeah, it's not that many more. Yeah, spells.
Yeah, a lot of the cards in Magic
else.
are taken up by lands or whatever.
Lands,
exactly.
Other things.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Well, one interesting thing that I'll just say as someone who started out playing a lot of. I played a few Magic games, but pretty much just like online Magic. With the iPad game and all that kind of stuff.
That was Duels of the Planeswalkers, which is actually really
and
simplified.
You learn the mechanics and you see how the game works.
I recommend Duels for anyone who wants to learn Magic and has never touched it because it handles a lot of the mechanics for you.
Sure. Yeah, Duels of the Planeswalkers, right? The Steam game.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And they have it comes out new one every year, so there's like 2014.
Yeah, I bought it for 2 straight years, and I've gotten my behind handed to me handily by the computer AI.
Yeah,
so it's actually AI is insane.
Yeah, but I there's a couple things that I do like about when I am playing Magic, and one of those things that I really like is and I wasn't really a fan of the instants and stuff like that, but what I really like is I like the ability to kind of bluff and change the opponent's turn by leaving a certain amount of mana up when it's their turn. And I think that is a kind of cool thing that allows you to force your opponent to take notice of that and maybe play differently because I have 3 mana available on his turn. What can I use that mana for? The problem, though, that I see really, and the reason I don't think we're ever going to see this stuff, is because of the fact that when you do play Magic, when you're playing in person, you can make a move and then I say, okay. Then you make a move and I say, okay. And you make a move and I say, okay. Whereas on the computer version, and me and Jocelyn were playing the other night, it's like you have to keep clicking okay. And that really isn't that fun and not that exciting to keep clicking okay.
Okay, I just caught something. It sounded like you said Dills doesn't like the instance.
Yeah. That's what I thought he said too. And I was like, I'm going to let him finish this thought, but then totally
I love the instance. What are you talking about?
The truth comes out.
Yeah. I love the instance.
Also,
but yeah, that's the problem that Hearthstone has.
Just real quick, I want to give a shout out to the Finicus in the Twitch chat because he is being awesome right now. That's all.
Awesome. Well, thanks for calling in, Sakani.
No problem. And hopefully I'll get back to playing Heart. You know what? This is how I'm a super casual player of this game right now. So just this is how I do. I laddered 1 season, then never did again. I think I think right now I'll probably play about as many games in a month as Garrett does in a day. I'm not exaggerating.
Nice.
Room for everybody.
Yeah, I have made it through. I bought Nax the day it came out, the entire thing, and I have made it through about the second boss in the second wing. That's as far as I've gotten.
Wow.
It's all good. You see, I'm jealous. You have stuff left. I'm all done with it.
Yeah.
It's not even
Yeah,
that
I
fun
got
to play again.
I got stuff to look forward to. So so by the time I finally get all the cards, the meta will be something completely different, and I will not.
Hey, man, that's what our show's for. You just listen to it. We'll keep you up to date.
It's how behind I am. I actually got out of a pack of Ragnaros a couple weeks ago.
Nice.
Nice.
If you don't have them, that's really good.
Yeah.
And I also got I got two legendary Ragnaros, and I got it was a golden one. Which one was it? The 15 health one, Alex Straza.
Alex Straza. Yes.
Yeah, 15 health off of your opponent or yourself.
Yeah, so I got a golden Alex Straza, and I'm thinking to myself, I actually dusted it.
Oh.
Yeah.
That's a lot of dust, though.
I dusted it because
probably do that depending on.
How behind I was. I dusted it because there were like a billion cards I see in every other deck that I did not have.
Yeah.
Like for example, things like say, Black Knight, or what's the other one? Faceless Manipulator, or even things like Knife Juggler.
Yeah. No, it's true. It's you know, just putting Alex Strauss in a deck isn't going to make the deck suddenly good. Honestly, you still have to get to turn 9 with that deck.
Yeah.
But don't ever dust Mukla, because geez, Dills will
I'll
hunt you
get
down.
mad at you.
I don't have anything else. But yeah, I actually dusted that and used the dust to build a zoo deck, and that was the first ever thing I'd ever done. And that's why I've been using to clear the Nax bosses.
Nice.
Otherwise, I would have no chance at anything ever.
Yeah, it's a good deck.
Well, awesome, dude. Well, again, thanks for calling in, and hopefully we'll get to see you at an Nerdtacular in the next few years.
I hope so too. But for now, thank you all for having me on. And let's see. Let's sign out. Peace out, mother cluckers.
Woo!
It's Scotty. That was good, man. I unfortunately am going to have to bail right now. My roommates are getting kind of pissed at me because they're all doing stuff, and apparently they're having a meeting.
A meeting?
You're out of the house.
10 minutes early. I know. Maybe I'm getting kicked out. I don't know. That would suck.
Pooping on your roommate's bed, dude.
I really should have stopped doing that a long time ago, but you know, it's just so rude.
So fun.
Our final caller's even going to tell you it's rude.
That's true. But I'm sorry to all. I'm glad I was able to hang out for a little while, and I made it almost a full hour before they got mad at me. So I will see everybody next Monday, and I'll see all the chat people whenever I stream again. All right.
All right, bye,
guys. Gotta go.
Get out of here. I'm not good enough for you. Caller, what's your name? Where are you coming from?
Hey, what's going on? My name is Kenneth. I'm actually the idiot who called into your show. The email call, yeah.
The email.
Nice.
Oh, you're not an idiot.
Our first recording, yeah.
Yeah. I wonder why nobody did it before then. It's surprising.
I think we got a few in the past, but they were like really long or terrible quality. And I actually I forgot to mention after we played your call that if people wanted to get calls on the show, that was the perfect example of what to do. Keep it short, concise, and make sure it doesn't sound like you're in a wind tunnel.
I do what I can.
Much appreciated, Kenneth.
So I got 2 questions. One of them is really short, and it's actually for you, Garrett. Are you going to Fest this year?
I'm going to one night of pre-Fest.
Oh, that's sad.
I don't think I'm going to make it up to Fest. I can't get tickets.
Yeah,
and I'm
we
really
got 'em
mad because Master Intruders play, and I've never seen them before.
They are incredible. I saw them last year. They killed it.
But all of the other bands I wanted to see are playing the night of pre-Fest I'm going to. So
yeah, that's true.
Yeah, it's going to be the Flatliners, Menzingers, and Less Than Jake, and a bunch of other bands I'm probably forgetting because I think there's like 8 or 9 bands playing at the one night I'm going.
Yeah, there's a bunch.
But I'm really stoked for those 3. The 3 of my favorite bands.
That certainly works out. All right, I guess on to my actual question. So with how successful Nax was, like as an adventure mode thing, do you think going forward they're going to keep doing like adventure modes instead of like expansion packs?
I think we're going to see a mix of both. Isn't that what they've said that they're going to
Well,
do? The next one we know is going to be 100 cards, give or take. And then they're going to do more of these adventure things later. Right, Garrett?
Well, yeah, they confirmed that the next one is just cards. There's nothing else coming. It's just cards, and it's going to be a large influx. And they said it'll be around 100, give or take, like you said, Jocelyn. And everything else they've pretty much done in Blizzard fashion. Well, we're not saying we're not going to do adventures anymore. I think it was... I mean, obviously, I have nothing to go on. Didn't see the figures. I don't know how many people actually bought Naxxramas and how successful it was for them. But to me, and from, we're kind of deeply ingrained in the community. I don't know, a little bit.
A little tiny bit.
We kind of, spend a lot of time reading stuff that people post about the game called Hearthstone. So I feel like just from what I've seen, and I think, Jocelyn, you can feel free to jump in. I feel like Naxxramas was a raving success.
I agree completely. If nothing else, like even if it wasn't a monetary success necessarily, it definitely had a lot of people playing to grind up the gold. So, I mean, they win either way. Either they get the money and they're like, yay, money. Or, they get the people, the time, the eyeballs, all that kind of stuff, all the hype.
That was a really exciting 5 weeks.
It was.
If you were watching tournaments
God.
that were going on during then and seeing the new decks that were being shown, if you were just watching people stream, I watched Kalento almost every single day because I found Kalento stream the best way for me personally to keep up with what people were finding, how to make these new cards work. And it was just such a fun 5 weeks. I was also reviewing cards and trying to get my reviews up, and it was a bit stressful. I had a lot of extra work to do, but
I know. I don't know why you guys did that. We did that on the show. I was just like, you people and all your writing. Sheesh.
I don't know. I've always really thoroughly enjoyed Magic card reviews, and I've never gotten into it because it's a lot of effing cards to review.
And they're so complicated. Like every freaking card has a book on it. And I'm just like, there goes my 25 minutes.
That's why I can never get into Magic. I've tried. I have buddies who play it. And it's so incredibly daunting that I can't bring myself to even dip my toe into that pool.
Yeah, it's I don't know. It's really not that bad. I mean, I had a buddy who was really good at teaching it to me. My buddy Ben from Amy Radio. He really helped. He just showed me. He gave me a pre-built deck of his, and he explained the mechanics. And we played like 3 games, and I just really enjoyed it. And I'm not even kidding. The next day, I went out and I bought like $60 worth of Magic cards and built my own deck. But that's me, and that's my heroin peddling buddy Ben, who constantly gets me obsessed with new games.
I haven't played really since I was it was probably about 15 years ago. So since I was kind of 12 to 15, I played a bit of Magic, and I really enjoyed it then. I just got back into it this last weekend, playing with Dills online, and it's fun, but it's complicated, and you can't be tired or drinking. Just,
I'm out.
Try to be a little bit alert because you definitely need all of your brain cells to be doing this game. It's really, really complicated. But it's a whole lot of fun, and it's different enough that it's a different experience. Even though they seem similar, they're completely different, and I enjoy both for different reasons. I do like the complexity, but sometimes I'm just like, oh my God, I don't even know what to do right now because this text is so small I can't even read it. Make the preview window like this big.
I like Magic. I like Magic a lot.
I like Magic too. I'm really enjoying it.
I want to play
wish
some
I wasn't
games.
I wish I'd picked it up when I wasn't in such like a flux. Like I can't sit and play for a night right now. Like I just have too much else going on, and I wish that I picked it up at a different time, but I'll get into it.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to playing some Magic with you and Dills.
Oh yeah, dude, I'm going to kick your butt.
I'll grab Ben and we'll do a 2-headed giant, 2 versus 2.
Oh, no, you're not. No.
Yeah. Oh no, it'll be fun. Well, one of you guys can get Ben, and one of you guys can get me. And
okay, I thought you meant that like you and Ben were gonna play against me and Dills, and I was like, that's no.
No, we'll divvy it up. We'll do like me and Dills or Ben and Dills. I don't know. We'll figure it out.
So do you think that at some point, I mean, I guess speaking of Magic, given that that's sort of really the only analog we have for Hearthstone, do you think there comes a point in Hearthstone's future where they start adopting some of those either like play styles or rules that Magic has? Because I mean, the game can only get bigger, so, and I think that with new mechanics and stuff, we're gonna have to figure a way of doing new things to keep it exciting.
Well,
right?
I mean, I think if you're developing any kind of game, whether it's a board game, video game, doesn't matter. If it fits in some type of genre, you can't really develop it in a bubble.
Yeah.
You're going to be influenced by similar games of the same type, either directly or indirectly.
Yeah.
I was saying I'd really like to see like flying minions. We might not see it because honestly, taunt it kind of does a similar thing, except anyone can attack taunt. Whereas flying in Magic, not everyone can attack a flying creature.
It would be really cool if like flying creatures could get around taunt.
Right.
That would be cool.
That would be really interesting. And I think like the way Magic, like how they value a card that has flying already works is figured out pretty well. And I could like they're always pretty low on health and a little less in attack for the mana you're spending because they can fly and they're unless you have direct damage spell, another flyer or something with reach, you can't deal with the damn thing.
Yeah.
And I would have to think that they would have to do something very similar in Hearthstone because much like if you look at all the taunt minions, you're getting less stats for your mana because they have the taunt affix.
Yeah.
So I think that to a point, there's no reason, but I don't think it'll be just Magic. I'm sure there's folks over there who play Pokemon and Yu-Gi-Oh! And God knows what other card games.
Yeah, and I think that Blizzard to jump on the Blizzard fanboy bandwagon here, I think that they're good enough also that they can take some of the better ideas and basically make them work for Hearthstone and tweak them in a different way. So I mean I don't think Hearthstone runs the risk of turning into Magic 2.0, but I think that it would be silly of them to ignore how popular Magic really is.
Right, right, exactly. I agree with you. And they're obviously pulling from their own inspiration as well. I mean, again, to use taunt as an example, if you had told me when I heard about Hearthstone, I didn't think about taunt as a mechanic, but it makes perfect sense. We have things in Warcraft called tanks, and they're known for having a shield and making things angry, and they have to attack them. It's a stellar card mechanic, and it seems to have been pulled from the Warcraft universe directly.
Yeah.
So
I like it.
I like it too, Kenneth.
All right, well, cool. Well, thanks. You guys take care.
Not a problem.
Yeah,
dude.
thanks for calling.
Have a good one.
All right, bye.
I think we had a couple other people.
I think I only have time for one more because I do still have to do one more run.
Gotcha.
Back
Oh,
to
yeah,
the
you're
other-
moving.
Yeah.
So if this person answers, this will be our final call. If he doesn't, we'll end it here. I know we had a couple calls come in over the past course.
Sorry, guys. It's just a bad night.
That's I got to go too. I didn't realize the time. But John, welcome to the show.
Hey, how's it going, guys?
Good. How
Hey.
you doing? You have a
So
pleasant
I actually
voice.
gave up, so I started a game. Oh, sorry.
No, you're fine. You're fine. I said you had a pleasant voice.
Oh, so I thought it was too loud.
No, you sound great.
So,
How you doing?
So my question, and I kind of wish Dills was here because he was the one that kind of started the conversation. But you guys last week talked about Hearthstone versus like poker and all that.
Yeah, you're getting real quiet all of a sudden.
I was
for
gonna
some
say, I'm
reason.
like, oh, maybe that's just me, but yeah, you sound really quiet all of a sudden.
How's that?
Much better. Oh,
Okay.
Glorious.
Okay, sorry. So the whole like Hearthstone versus poker and all that kind of stuff.
Did it totally just
you're-
happen again?
The second you start talking, like
Yeah.
it just starts fading out. I don't know what's going on with your microphone. I now
have
cannot hear
no
you.
idea.
Now I can hear you. That is just strange.
My
That's so
computer
funny.
hates me. I have no idea what's going on.
Yeah, the longer you talk, the more it fades.
So I'll talk in very short sentences. How's
Yep.
that?
That works.
So it's basically like.
Damn it!
Okay.
What is even happening right now?
I don't know. This is the weirdest thing I've ever experienced.
I have no idea.
That is so strange.
It's totally fine until you start to try to ask your question.
Actually have like a cohesive thought.
Can you type it in the Skype call?
Yeah, I can, but I can catch you next time too.
Okay. All right, John. I'm sorry.
Thanks for the try.
I'm so sorry.
No problem.
Oh, that was so bizarre.
I've never seen that happen before.
Neither
ever.
have I. If anything, I've noticed mics get way too loud over time because they're overcompensating for something being quiet. But for something to get just slow, it's as if someone was just on a fader, just slowly pushing it down to 0. And then... Yeah, that was interesting.
Man,
Well,
that's funny.
I think we have to end it there anyway. I didn't even realize the time. I know you're moving, Joss.
Yeah,
So,
sorry, guys.
Good luck finishing that up. I'm excited to see pictures from the new place.
I don't have a lot of furniture, so it's going to look really, really empty. So
That's okay. That's okay.
don't judge me.
We have all been there. I spent my first few days when I moved to LA, like on an air mattress with my computer monitor on the floor, doubling as our TV.
Yeah, I bought a computer desk, which is awesome, except for it's in pieces. And I raid tomorrow night. So, and I'm still going to have to do more moving tomorrow. So I'm kind of like, oh my God.
You might want to give someone a heads up. Just, hey guys, just in case. Is it flex raid? Are they going to be okay if you don't show up?
I think we're starting Wing 1 tomorrow night. So yeah, it's flex.
But it's flex. Okay. No, that'll be fine. If you...
But I'm kind of the raid leader, so that might suck.
Okay. You're too nice to be a raid leader. I'm sorry. It's a compliment. You're too nice. My raid leader when we were down Lich King, man, she was just get the hell out of the fire. What are you doing? Move. Get on the freaking Valkyrie. Go. And
see, I'm much nicer than that.
Yeah, no. I loved her to death. She was a wonderful raid leader. It's not a job I would want to do, and I've done it, and people get mad at me.
Why do people get mad at you?
Because I learned how to raid lead from her.
Oh. Garrett Rage 2.0.
Yeah, exactly. It's not like a mean, but it's like loud. You know, it's just kind of like, move here now. Go.
Well, that's kind of similar to what I do.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So
like,
probably not.
Yeah.
Probably not so bad.
I tell them what's incoming, how many seconds they've got, where to move.
I haven't led a raid since the end of Kata, and I'm okay with that. It's stressful.
I'm enjoying it. It's fun. But my group is really, 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 I don't want to say casual, but they're all people who've never raided before. Because I didn't want anybody who, had other raiding experiences or anything like that. I just wanted people who were learning.
That's probably why you're enjoying it.
Yeah, so we're having fun, and every time we down a boss, it's like the greatest thing of life ever.
That is a great feeling. I miss that. I'm really looking forward for Warlords because I have zero interest in playing Pandaria. We haven't had new content in a year now. I'm done, man. But
I've already done Siege Wing 1 twice, just with New Braid back when I was raiding with them around Easter. And it was fun, but I'm knowing what the first 4 bosses are. I'm a little bit intimidated about tomorrow, especially since I've done zero research, which is so bad. But it'll be great. We'll learn together.
You'll figure it out. It'll be fine. Someone's going to have tank
and that's
spot
what
open.
I wanted to do is get everybody to just get together and figure it out. I didn't want it to be a whole lot of homework and stuff, so it'll be great.
All right. Well, good
We're
luck.
Not going to make it past the first one.
Good luck with that. I believe in you. Good luck with your moving. And
Thanks.
Everyone follow Jocelyn on Twitter at GISGamer. Follow me at Garrett Art. Go to patreon.com/TAC if you're not already a patron. All of the info to call in is always posted there before the next patron hangout. And we'll see you next week for the next episode of The Angry Chicken. Good luck and have fun. That's how I sign off into the Nexus. Job's done.
Job's done.
Yeah.
Yes.
Bye, chat room.